Well, I grew up really around cattle and livestock production in East Tennessee on my grandparents' tobacco and beef cattle farm. So really from an early age I was very interested in livestock production and all the things that go into it. I did my undergraduate at the University of Tennessee, actually in ag and extension education, with the intention of being a high school agriculture teacher. But at the time, one of the classes I took in my undergraduate was reproductive physiology, and got really interested in that and the aspects of endocrinology that went with that. I knew at that point that I wanted to go on and get graduate degrees related to that. So from UT, I went to the University of Kentucky and did a master's that was very applied in nature. Learned a lot of technology, management technology, like ultrasound, embryo transfer, artificial insemination, a lot of those things that we try to promote the use of now. And then really at that point is when I developed the desire to be an extension specialist, and I knew that's what I wanted to do for a career. But I knew to be able to do that I needed to be better rounded and more rooted in basic science and in bench type science. So from Kentucky I went to West Virginia University and got a PhD in reproductive endocrinology and physiology, and really learned more about the molecular techniques and how the science that we translate into management practices is generated. And that was my intention, again, to be able to translate that basic science into something that we can use on the farm to make more money. I think our most interesting research project that I'm directly associated with is a project revolving around what we call fetal programming. And really what that is referring to is what happens to the cow and how that affects the calf that she's carrying at that time. The way we're looking at it is through third trimester supplementation of the dry cows, just the 3 months prior to them calving, and look at different supplementation strategies and how that affects that calf when it hits the ground, all the way through, if it's a heifer, her first pregnancy, and for steers, feedlot performance and health, and even their carcass value. I would say the single most important management practice would be having a defined calving season and as tight a calving season as you possibly can have, because a lot of the other, or really all the other management practices that we talk about, whether it be nutritional supplementation, grazing management, health management, revolves around having a condensed calving season and having those cows all in a similar production stage and having all those calves at a similar age when we need to implement those management practices. So I really think that a defined calving season and as tight as possible is the most important management practice.